Okay, hello YouTubers, and today finally I am reviewing this, which is the, well, 13th slash 14th slash 15th slash Billy Piper Tardis, which has just come out at B&M. It seems to only be pretty much up north at the minute, but I imagine, you know, it'll come out at all the other ones pretty soon anyway. But yeah, this is £20, which, you know what, I'd say that is a really good price for it. And I've been saying it for years, I would forego the figure if it meant we got electronics, and we do. So that's good, and yeah, it only being £20 now, there are some improvements to the Jodie Whittaker original release. In fact, here's a comparison to the two of them. Yeah, and this kind of puts my point initially into effect that this, while I do like this, and actually I think I prefer the colour of this one, the colour is less accurate than this one is. This one is actually more accurate to how the TARDIS, you know, looks in terms of its colour. But I actually do prefer, I think the box looks better actually in this blue, even though it is inaccurate. But one thing they did from the original release is the original release had these sort of white window frames here. On this one, they're actually correct in that they are silver. Now, the design of the windows is still incorrect because it's still got the pebble stones in those two corners there. But in terms of, you know, it being silver, that is correct. That is an improvement, and that over the other one. Now, obviously, this is not accurate to the actual box itself in terms of sculpt or anything, really, for the most part, because, well, it's just using the classic series box. Now, something this one has done, and that's, now, it does depend on your one, but Aldoar, for some reason, has put these black marks here and all around there on the side bits to try and replicate the Noxes. Yes, that is genuinely why there are black marks going around there that look like someone has gone over it in a bloody Sharpie. It just doesn't work. It just looks like someone, you know, mine doesn't look too bad. I've seen other people's where it's really, you know, obvious and that, but yeah, it just looks like someone has gone over it in a black marker pen. It just doesn't look right. Which is a shame, because it kind of, you know, spoils it. It looks a bit worse actually on that one at the back here. My ones on the back here, they do stand out a bit more. The ones on the front aren't too bad, I guess, actually. It looks actually better on camera than it, less obvious on camera than it does in real life. But why try and do that with paint apps? And also, the Noxes, you know, if you are going to do the Noxes, maybe do them in a darker blue rather than black. And also, they're too thick as well. They're just too thick. I'd much rather the Noxes weren't there. Yeah, I really don't know why. The pull to open signs, while the text and everything is the same on them, this one, it's actually a proper black on this one. Same on the signage as well. And unfortunately, they're still stickers. They are still stickers. And the problem with that is a lot of them are either not stuck on properly or they're misaligned. For example, here's one I've got in the box. And the sticker on this one, don't know if you can see it on the corner, it's slightly misaligned and also slightly peeling off on the corner, unfortunately. So yeah, I don't know why on these ones they're not printed like on the, you know, actual classic series boxes. Why are they just stickers? To be honest, I really don't know why that is the case. It's like, you know, you've got stuff like the windows and stuff like that, and also, hooray! We've got a backdrop in there. We've got a backdrop. Which, this one doesn't seem to have the jukebox in it, so technically it's actually the 14th Doctor TARDIS. Is the focus working? There we go. So, yeah, technically that is the 14th Doctor TARDIS in there. Because there's no sign of the jukebox in there. So, yeah. But something it does also come with is it does come with a Jodie Whittaker card for her TARDIS. So, yeah. Now, this is particularly good if you have the original release as well, so you can, you know, fold this one and stick that one in the older release, or put it in the box. It's wrapped in some tissue paper inside the actual box itself. I think this is also the first one since that release that has the older style of base as well with this release, which is correct. But yeah, unless this one, I can't remember whether this came out after the 4th Doctor Regeneration set or not, because I remember it did get delayed several times. But yeah, everything else about this is pretty much the same. We'll get onto the lights and sound effects as well. So it takes 3 AAA batteries, just like all of the other ones do. Place it down and... And as you can see there, it is still a blue LED. It's looking more white on camera actually than it is, but it is actually a bright blue LED. So if you're wanting these to basically, you know, take for the electronics and put them in some of the other B&M TARDISes that are being released over the years, then you will need to replace the LED in there, unless you're putting it in the Sharda TARDIS. In the Sharda TARDIS, you could leave it as is. Anyway, picking it up. And we'll do the quick sound effects ones here. Oh, does this not have the longer sound effects it appears? Doesn't appear to. Normally it would have full sound effects actually. Although, am I forgetting something from the other classic boxes? Don't know, but yeah, the fact that it does have light and sound effects is great, because, you know, it does give the box a lot more life, and to be honest, it makes people like me want them actually, you know, more. And that I actually picked 3 of these up, because, you know, one to open, one to keep boxed, and I might buy a 4th one at a later date, possibly to gut for its electronics, basically, because this one actually doesn't, this one here, this 13th Doctor TARDIS, doesn't actually work. It's missing the button on the bottom. So, yeah. But overall, you know, if you missed out on this one, is it worth picking this one up? Yes, but it is inaccurate. Like I say, it does have electronics, which is good. The windows, and also it's having a backdrop, in fact having 2 options for backdrops in there, is good. Although it's 2 steps forward and then several steps back in terms of the colour of this thing. And that, I mean, on its own it looks fine, but when you really compare it to the original release, which was closer in colour to it, you can really see the 2 of them right there, and how, you know, different and that they look. I don't know how well that is coming across on camera, but yeah. Which the box itself, again, I've checked on images and that for, you know, Series 15 or Season 2 2025, and it's looking closer to this than it is this one and that. But again, I like the blue. I do like the blue. The drawn on Noxes, I don't know if they'll come off easily or not. I don't know. It kind of depends. I think try and find a one where they're the least obvious, because I have seen some again where they're really obvious. And that also a difference between the 2 of these as well. This one might actually, I wonder if this one was painted. Actually, this one definitely isn't. This one, I don't know if this one was actually painted or not, or whether it is just thick weathering. I will say, I think this one, you know, in terms of the weathering of the two of them, this one doesn't have very much on it, and this one does have a bit more on that. But again, that's just kind of depending par for the course and that. But yeah, overall, I do highly recommend this release despite its inaccuracies. I know it was never going to be 100% accurate because of the sculpt and that, but yeah, just seeing the two of them next to each other like that really does just put things into perspective. But yeah, that's it for this review, and I will be reviewing Eve of the Daleks immediately after finishing this. So yeah, there we go, people.